Hey Leo, Mariah here. It's such a pleasure, honor, and a privilege to be reading for you today. Before we get started in today's reading, I do have an announcement. There is one more giveaway that I'm doing on this channel to show my appreciation and my gratitude for all of you guys. And thank you so much for making this year a really special year. And I'm so appreciative and I love every single one of you. And this is not just a channel. You guys are my extended family. And I do mean that, especially during the holiday times when my family is pretty small. I have all of my lions here to congregate with and love on, and I love every single one of you. So I will say this, right? We've already given away 7 free readings a couple of months ago. I've made all of my extendeds, the entire back catalog of my extendeds, completely free for 5 days. Then we did the 15 free reading giveaway, right? So we gave away 15 free readings. And lastly, before the year ends, because I want to say thank you to every single one of you, I am giving away some money. So every week for the month of December, I'm giving away $100 to a subscriber for you to have. It does not matter what you do with it. You can go buy you an OnlyFans subscription. You can buy you a lady or a gentleman of the night. You can go put that money towards groceries, gas, electricity, whatever your heart desires. It does not matter. I just want to say my thank you, and I want to show my gratitude for you guys being here. And it's not just about being able to sit here, pull cards and read for you guys, but it is also about doing the best that I can to try and make some impact or to try and be of service to you guys in whatever capacity that I can. So again, every week $100, there was 4 winners. So to enter in, super simple. Soon as you see the next video, please leave a comment. The first comment that is left will win, right? So I'm not going to go through 1,100 comments like I did last time. That was a big undertaking. So what I'll do here this time is the next video that I drop, which will be coming out sometime early this week, I will hide the comments once the video is premiered. And once the premiere is over, the comments will be made available. The person who comments first will win. And the money will either be sent through PayPal, Cash App, or through an online Visa gift card, especially for my international subscribers, because I'm not doing no MoneyGram and I'm not doing no wire transfers, okay? So those are the 3 ways the money will be sent, one of the 3 of your preference. But I just want to say my thank you and show you my gratitude for you being a part of the channel. So one last time, make sure the next video that I drop on this channel, be the first to leave a comment. The first person that leaves that comment, your comment will be pinned. You will have 48 hours to reach out to me. Once I pin your comment, I will give you my email. Please reach out to me so that way I can send you your money. So that way I can tell you Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever it is you celebrate. And I'm just so thankful and I'm so grateful for all of you. So let's go ahead and hop into today's reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started in your reading, Leo. So spirit guides, angels, ancestors for my Leos. Let's see what's going on with them. And why is this happening? Damn. The first thing I heard was, you share the same blood, but you're not of the same cloth. Damn. You share the same blood, but you're not of the same cloth. So Leo, you've let go. You've let go of something. I'm proud of you. First, can I say that? Can I get that out the way, right? Can I get that out the way? Whoever I'm talking to, right? One-on-one, heart to heart right here. I'm proud of you. And I mean that sincerely. And I mean that deeply. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I'm proud of you. You let something go. And this was something very difficult for you to let go. And this was something very difficult for you to release, not only physically in your life, but psychologically, mentally, even emotionally. And I have to go into why this was so difficult for you to let it go. And not the surface explanation of, you know, what we can clearly see it plain as day, right? This situation did not serve me because of X. This situation was not working out for me because of Y. This situation was not good for me or was not meant for me because of X, Y, and Z. That's the easy way. That's more of the cop-out way to look at why you had to let something go. Let's kind of go to the root for this on a quick second. And why I'm so proud of you. Because there's something deeper ingrained here psychologically for you as to why it was difficult for you to let go of. I'll give you one quick example here. I think of a person, I'm not saying this is your situation personally, just only an example's sake. I think of a person who may have attachment issues or abandonment issues, and we can look back and pull back the layers of that person's childhood and see that they did not receive the love from their parents or their maternal or paternal energy. Or we can look at some form of neglect, right? Maybe a parent was always out working and trying to slave to make sure you had a roof and water and food and, clothes and shelter over your head. So you were neglected because your parent or parents always had to work. So you were always kind of left behind and left in tow, right? Which causes some form of psychological, in the psychological mind, some form of neglect or abandonment issues. Right? Because you always either felt abandoned from child's sake at that age or in your adolescence, or even as you got older from friends, people, life, or circumstances where you just felt like you were left behind. So when we look at this specific situation, it makes it difficult because psychologically now it creates some form of attachment issue, right? Based upon the root of this pattern that was established in our younger years. So when we had to let this go, when we have to let this go, it makes it much more difficult to do so. So I would tell you to look at the root, not just the surface level of why you had to let this go and why it makes sense to let this go, but what at a deeper level allowed you to attach onto this for as long as you did. Why did you stay and stick out the situation for as long as you did? Why did you stay in place in this situation for as long as you did, right? I'll even put in a different perspective, right? Say, for example, that you may have grown up in poverty and you didn't have the finances. You didn't get to have the best. You had to make do. Your family had to make do with what you had. Not to kind of go off left, but I'm just hearing Islam. So I don't know if somebody has Islamic background, heritage, or over there in that region, Middle East, but that's just kind of what popped in my head. But you could have grown up in those kind of environments, right? So you may have always had this scarcity mindset or this lack mindset where you tend to attach and hold on to whatever you can as far as your financial situation or wanting to obtain something financially because of what you didn't have. And it may allow yourself in your older years to stick out, whether it's work situations, environments, or be around or deal with people that may have benefited you at some point in time. When it came to finances or when it came to that sector of life, even if the situation wasn't good for you, because we link it back to the scarcity mindset that we may have had growing up, there's a deeper root than just the experience at hand. And I challenge you, Leo, whoever I'm talking to really assess that, because that's going to be the key to prevent you from ending up in a situation like this again in your future. We can easily get rid of the surface circumstance and disregard that and let it go. But if we don't address the core, if we don't go down and address the root, we will set ourselves up to repeat history again and again, just in a different context, maybe in a different circumstance, maybe in a different situation, maybe with new players, but the outcome still becomes the same. So I come back to you and I say, I'm so proud of you because you did what you needed to do and let this go. Now, what do you do next? Now, how do you move forward? And it's so interesting here, Leo. Wow. It's so interesting because we want to make sure that at this time we're making the right choice with the new cycle, right? The new wheel that's spinning, the new door we're walking into. We want to make sure that this is the right pathway for ourselves. We want to make sure that this time we're getting the outcomes we're desiring, we're getting the results that we're looking for. But there's some sense of cautiousness, and I want to tell you, be privy or be cautious of being hyper cautious, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But be cautious of being overly cautious, because sometimes when we are overly cautious, we sometimes miss the boat. Sometimes we miss the opportunity, or sometimes we can misstep trying to be a bit too careful. Make sure that you're looking at all the factors here in the situation appropriately and correctly, and knowing that with everything that you're looking at, that you're moving fairly quickly, but don't move too fast where you misstep, and don't move too slow where you miss the boat. So I gotta ask you, where are you going next, Leo? Where are you going next? Because you're going in a direction that actually is going to provide you some benefit, that's going to provide you some form of reward. It's more so coming down to stability, financial stability, security, comfortability in your life. You're moving into a comfortable place. You're moving into a place where you can finally have some contentment and whatever that may mean for you. You're moving into a space where you feel stable. You feel, and not just in your material world, but mentally, emotionally, psychologically stable. Psychologically stable. And the death card is coming out. Dang. So let me say this, because now I see how this is playing from the month of December and going into January. And it's so cool. So in your circumstance specifically, you are, and I hate to say this, but because it is so cliche, I promise you, it's so cliche, but it's like, you are not alone. You know, you really aren't, but you know, it is what it really is what it is. You are genuinely not alone, but you're transforming. It's like going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. You're genuinely transforming. And this feels like a transformation that you've been waiting to have happen for you. This is a transformation that you've been expecting. You've been looking forward towards. But the best part about all of this, and I want you to understand this so clearly, right? Me and you understand this so clearly. The mountain here, the mountain of whatever this circumstance has been, has always been you. Has always been you. And when we relinquish our power to circumstantial events that are outside of our control, when we relinquish our power to other people, when we relinquish our power to the circumstances that life puts us in, it removes our power of free will. It removes our power to make a choice. It removes our power to dictate the course of our life. And you've always been the mountain in this circumstance. You've always been your own biggest blockage. You've always had the free will and the opportunity to turn this will, to change this circumstance, to get up out of this circumstance. But it comes down to your willpower, your mental strength, and your endurance. You've always been able to get out of this circumstance. But now it feels like we've gotten to the tipping point, the breaking point here, where it's no longer am I going to be the mountain. No longer am I going to get in my own way. No longer am I going to stay in the circumstance, or deal with these people, or deal with this environment, or deal with the situation that I'm in. No longer am I going to let these habitual behaviors, patterns, or conditions that have been given to me or been imposed onto me since I was a youth, since I was in my adolescence, to continue to affect me in my adulthood moving forward in my life. I no longer will be that mountain. I will no longer be that obstacle. I want to change them out, because I'm looking at a Leo that is craving for change. I'm looking at a Leo that's desiring a change. I'm looking at a Leo that's like, I cannot take it. They're like, you're almost like a straitjacket, right? But with this straitjacket, it's like you're breaking out, like you're just forcing your way. I cannot do this anymore. That's what this feels like. And you're moving forward, but where are you going next? And like I mentioned, you're going into a place of comfortability, some place of stability. And is it an easy journey? Fuck no. I'm not going to, excuse my language, I'm sorry. But no, I'm not going to sit here as a reader and tell you it's going to be easy. I'm not going to sit here and kiss your blah, 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 and tell you that it's going to be all good and dandy and rainbows and you going to have this, that, other, third, because that's not how life works, right? Realistically, it's not. But why I have to come back and say that I am so proud of you is because you're taking the steps to end something here that has never truly served you. Even if in that moment at the time when it may have felt like it did, it genuinely was never going to serve you in the long term. So we were dealing with a situation which in the end, we were only wasting our time and making a poor investment in a situation that would have never brought us the outcomes that we're looking for. And with us understanding the root of how we ended up there, we change our future. So that way we no longer end up there. no matter what. Leo, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you because you're not doing this alone. You are protected. You are absolutely protected. You are absolutely covered. You are absolutely sheltered. You are absolutely being taken care of on the other side. And again, I go back to Islam. I don't know if somebody, again, has heritage, culture, is from their ancestors from there. I don't know, but I'm just hearing Islam. But you do take care. And I'm so excited because it feels like the end of this year, you're closing it out. You're closing it out. You're digging up those roots, understanding psychologically why, really trying to put yourself in the shoes of why this is no longer working, why it has no longer worked, why I have to fully relinquish this for good, and where the root of that stemmed from, so that way we can make better choices for the future for ourselves. And I'm so proud of you, man. I am. I am. I'm so proud of you because it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of being cognizant, and it takes a lot of self-awareness, and it takes a lot of hard truths that are extremely uncomfortable to realize why we put ourselves in a situation or how we ended up in a situation, but then how we change it. And it takes a lot of mental power, a lot of mental strength, and a lot of mental endurance to persevere past it and make a change and make a difference for ourselves. So Leo, good luck. I wish you well. Godspeed. You got this. I love you.